And so you can see at this point that we have the a view of the foot if we were emphasizing the foot, if we were trying to demonstrate how the foot of the robot interacts, how it's connected to the lower leg. This is the render that we would ask for. When we ask the render to occur, we set up our parameters for control, and then we said how long we want it to render. We're going to let this one render just for a little while so that you can see what happens. And so we are now creating this view of the foot of the robot with a quality being that we controlled it to render for only 15 seconds. And it has now created this JPEG picture of the foot. Excuse me, TIF render of the foot. Now, if we wanted to have a higher quality rendering, then we would ask it to render for more time. And there's no sense in us watching that happen. We have these rendered pictures, and we'll let you see what they look like. The render that we just did is this TIFF file. It's 16 megabytes. It is a TIFF file, so it's only going to be visible as a TIFF file. In other words, our ability to move around and change the way that we look at the picture is not controllable once it's been created as an output. You can see the level of the clarity. This is not really finished with doing its rendering. All of these in a real one where we wanted to have a photographic appearing rendering, we would take these out before we did it. We have other renderings that we've done. This is a 45-second rendering, and it just clearly, the program has not finished doing its work. It gives you a nice view of the foot. If you had a point that you were trying to make, that would be makeable with a picture of this clarity. If you need more clarity in your picture, then you have to let it render longer. This is a render that we allowed to run for 4 minutes, and you can see that a lot of more clarity exists in the various different places where errors of rendering can occur. This is a much better picture. It's not broken up. The shadows are more correct. We still have these little circles, but we put them in there, so that's okay. There is some degree of pixelation of these lines. In order for this type of rendering to not occur, we would have to probably render it overnight or for 2 or 3 days, which is something that's completely acceptable if we wanted that level of clarity in a picture that we were trying to show to somebody. This is completely different from what this looks like in scale. There's a possibility our computer may have a little blue alien living inside the computer. We asked him if he would help us to show you the name of the next video in our series about PistonRobot. And he said, sure.